What's up? Happy Halloween! Do you know who I am? I'll give you a hint. It's sometimes hard to find me. That's right. Mr. Eric here as Where's Waldo? And I wanted to read you a very funny book by Dav Pilkey called The Hallo-Weiner. So hopefully you'll get this book in before you go trick-or-treating. Again, if you go out trick-or-treating, guys, please stay safe. Stay with your parents, your grandparents, the adults who are taking you out. Don't go to places you're not supposed to go. You know the routine, but I'm going to say it anyway because I care about you and I want you to be safe. So go have fun, but follow the rules and be safe. Just letting you know. So anyway, enjoy this tale right here. Thank you again to Miss Heather English for letting us borrow your book. And I hope everybody enjoys it right here on Mr. Eric Reads. There once was a dog named Oscar who was half a dog tall and 1.5 dogs long. Because of his unusual shape and size, the other dogs made fun of him. Wiener dog, they called him. And Oscar did not like that one bit. Oscar's mother was no help either. Every morning when the dogs walked off to obedience school, Oscar's mom stood in the front yard waving and calling out, "Farewell, my little Vienna sausage." And again, the other dogs laughed and laughed. Most of the time, Oscar was upset by all this, but not today, because today was Halloween. And Oscar was thinking about other things all day long at obedience school. Oscar daydreamed about Halloween night, trick-or-treats, and scary costumes. When Oscar got home, he dashed upstairs to start working on his scary Halloween costume. But when he got to his room, a surprise was waiting for him. "Happy Halloween, my little sausage link," said Oscar's mother. "I've made you a costume to wear for trick-or-treats." When Oscar saw his costume, he nearly fainted. It was a giant hot dog bun, complete with mustard. And guess who was supposed to fit in the middle? That's right. It was Oscar. But Oscar didn't want to hurt his mother's feelings, so he decided to wear the silly costume. That night, all the other dogs on the block gathered to show off their costumes. And everyone was looking quite scary. And then Oscar showed up, looking quite frank. When the other dogs saw Oscar in his silly costume, they howled with laughter. Look at Oscar! He really is a wiener dog! And as you can imagine, poor Oscar was so embarrassed. "Wiener dog, wiener dog, wiener dog," laughed the other dogs as they ran off to go trick-or-treating. Oscar tried to keep up with the dogs, but his silly costume kept slowing him down. All night long, the other dogs hounded every treat they could get their paws on. And by the time Oscar got to each house, well, there were no treats left. Soon trick-or-treating was over, and the dogs walked home past a spooky graveyard. Suddenly, a horrible hissing sound filled the air. The dogs stopped dead in their tracks. Then out of the graveyard rose a ghastly monster. The dogs screamed for their lives. They dropped their treats and they jumped into a nearby pond. The monster moved closer. "Please don't eat us! Please don't eat us!" cried the dogs. The monster howled and hissed. "Oh, God!" sobbed the dogs. The monster jumped up and down. "Somebody save us!" shrieked the dogs. Just then, somebody showed up. It was Oscar. And because Oscar was so short, he had saw something the other dogs had not seen. "That's no monster!" cried Oscar. And with a loud bark, Oscar waddled to the rescue. Oscar chomped and tugged with all his might. Rip! And there, standing in the moonlight, were a couple of ornery cats.
"Help!"
cried the cats.
"We're being attacked by a giant frankfurter!"
And they ran off screaming through the graveyard. The dogs in the pond had seen the whole thing, and now it was their turn to be embarrassed. "We've been chased into a pond by a couple of cats." Oh, they moaned. But Oscar was a true friend, so he leapt into the water and swam out to the dogs. Oscar's silly costume made a wonderful life raft, and all the dogs climbed aboard. "All aboard!" Oscar called, and he dog paddled back to the shore. When they got back to dry land, all the dogs shared their Halloween treats with Oscar. Because Oscar had been so brave, the dogs changed his nickname from Wiener Dog to Hero Sandwich. And from that night on, nobody ever made fun of Oscar again. Happy Halloween! Go out there and have fun, guys. Be safe. Hope you enjoyed Dav Pilkey's The Hallo-Weiner. Thank you again, Miss English, for letting us borrow that book. You guys stay safe out there, please. Have a great Halloween. Come back again tomorrow. We'll have another story right here on Mr. Eric Reads.